together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
And we're back. The other one's short. This one won't be too awfully long either. Because I've got to make some short reels. Yeah. Trying to increase my following. So. And going to be working on peer-led pathways, because that one will bring in money quicker than the puppet show. It'll take a lot less time too. Peer-led pathway is pretty straightforward. If you want help and are willing to go to treatment for 30 days, I will pick you up. I will take you to detox. Or if you are detoxed and ready, then I will take you straight to treatment. No wait time. No, I have no wait time. So what I will do is I will pick you up. I will take you to detox. I will make sure that you have what you need while you're at detox. You will sign an ROI so I can check up on you. I'll pick you up from detox. Okay. And then you're not going to see me for 30 days because you'll be on a blackout, but I will be getting updates and stuff. And once you are out, I will help you decide where to go next. That's it. There we are. Okay. But it took a while to get to a point where I could provide, the main catch here is there's no wait time between detox and treatment. Peer-led pathways. We'll do what's right for you. Now, this is a 12-step based program. So, yeah, there we go. All right. We're doing a random reading today, a random recovery reading. Arr. So this is a pirate show. Arr. Right? Arr, arr, arr. Stupid. Silly, not stupid. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. I'm also known as the Pod Father. I'm still bringing that out right now. Right. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Now, what I did is I put it into ChatGPT because ChatGPT, I use it a lot, so it knows me well. And what I said was, give me a random reading from all the books I use, so I have no clue what we're going to get. Or if it's even going to give me something right off the bat, it's probably, I use, along with a page number. I do not need an outline. There we go. Okay. Otherwise, it's going to do all that. It's going to tell me what to say, everything else. Because ChatGPT is extremely codependent. Earlier, I tried to deal with my frustration. I said, you know what's frustrating? You're frustrating. It gave me page 85. 85. You know what? We've been reading that one a lot lately. We've been covering it a lot, but clearly it needs to be read. So we're gonna do it. Let's give it one more shot. Try again. See what it gives me. Because I've been talking about resting on your laurels for several days. Language of the Heart, page 235. All right, let's do it. 235. Said something about for our group purpose. let's do, you know what? Let's do this. We could probably do kind of the best of both worlds here. Let's start with page 85 and then we will finish up here. There we go. And we can do both. All right. So, page 85. So, we'll go ahead and do that. All right. Can't ask for direction and not follow it because my gut keeps telling me that somebody needs to hear it. All right. So, it is easy. I start before this, but I'm just going to start right at it. Amber says, "What it do? What it be?" Right, and then we will go into page 235. It is easy to let up on the spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. It's easy to get sidetracked. It can. Roger and I were talking about that a little bit this morning. Keep it simple, right? First things first, right? We're headed for trouble if we do, for alcohol is a subtle foe. Yeah. Now, this person was, I did not know this person, but somebody I know, their wife passed. A friend of mine's um, sister-in-law passed from alcoholism. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to watch people drink themselves to death, man. We are not cured of alcoholism. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition, right? Now we'll bring it up here because we're in step 10, and step 10 is the first of the maintenance steps. I love the maintenance steps. I do. That's where I live in 10, 11, and 12. That's where I live. I utilize the other steps to help me stay there. All right. So I do 1 through 9 to help me stay in that maintenance 10, 11, and 12. And I use it for all of my mental illnesses. I do. I utilize the same thing. I had to put a little bit of different work and extra work into some of the other ones, like my PTSD, but I still utilize the program. It works. It worked for me. Yeah. Each day is a day when we must carry the vision of God's will into all of our activities. How can I best serve thee? Thy will, not mine, be done. Thank God for God's will, because mine sucked. It doesn't now. No, I hope that my will is in line with God's will, because that's what I want. I used to have it. I used to need it. Now I want it in my life. And once I went from that needing it to wanting it, my life really started improving. Right? These are thoughts which must go with us constantly. Right? So you don't have to memorize a bunch of stuff or whatever. Thy will, not mine, be done is good enough to remind Dion of what he is doing. We can exercise our willpower along this line all we wish. It is the proper use of the will. Woo! Now they're even letting you that you can go back to your human will because you're using it correctly now. See, step 10 is where knowledge has power again. That knowledge is power. Before, I couldn't follow through on any of the knowledge. Now that I'm following through on it, it starts to work again. Right? Knowledge and experience are kind of the same thing in this. Because your experience is knowledge. Absolutely it is. Now you did some other studying and things like that. All right, who knows? Much has already been said about receiving strength and inspiration and direction from him who has all knowledge and power. There's that knowledge word. That's probably why it popped into my head. All right. Has all knowledge and power. All of it. And who even knows if that's correct? I don't know. But at this point, I'm going with it, right? If we have carefully followed directions, we have begun to sense the flow of his spirit into us. It'll come in the form of peace, understanding, a new serenity. We will understand the word peace, and we will know serenity. Yes, it will happen. That's where that happens at. All right. To some extent, we have become God conscious. We have begun to develop this vital sixth sense, but we must go further, and that means more action. All right. Amber says, guess what I'm picking up? How many guesses do I get? Can I have 2 guesses? Because I have 2. My first guess is chairs. My second guess, oh, it says, guess what I'm picking up, not who. So I'm going to go with chairs. Otherwise, my other guess would be Isaac. So, all right. So we have become God consciousness, that vital sixth sense. What's the vital sixth sense? It is your intuition, knowing good from bad. My intuition didn't work that great when I was drinking. Nope. Because my intuition at that point didn't care if it was good or bad, as long as it made me happy. Right? Ooh. Now that I've cleared away the past, done some work, understanding how and where I'm lying, or not even lying, but just plain dishonest. That way it covers all of it. Right? So, I had a good therapy session. Wrong on both. Dang. A table? I'm out. I lost. I did not win the prize. Right? So that's sixth sense. We have begun to develop this vital sixth sense. Listen to your intuition. You ever go against your intuition? Yeah, it didn't work out, did it? It didn't work out. Huh? Step 11 suggests prayer and meditation. There we are suggesting things again. Right? You heard Roger earlier. It's the same kind of suggestion that if you jump out of an airplane, that you pull the ripcord that releases the parachute. Right? And you would have said 3 guesses. Now you're just giving me shit. All right. I gotta get something for the wedding. That's as good as I could get. We shouldn't be shy on this matter of prayer. Better men than we are using it constantly. It works if we have the proper attitude and work at it. It would be easy to be vague about this matter, yet we believe we can make some definite and valuable suggestions. So, all right, if you're a little embarrassed by praying, do it alone. Do it in the shower. Nobody's there. Personally, I don't care if people see me praying. I don't usually get on my knees. Usually I'm sitting outside, having a cigarette, drinking my coffee. You'll know if I'm praying because I'm not looking at my phone. I pray all day long. I pray here. You hear me thank God. Thanking God is a prayer. Thank you, God, is a full, complete prayer. And I say it often during the day. Last 2 tables for the wedding. Well, didn't you hear my last one was table? I should have just stuck with it. See, my intuition knew to go with table, and I didn't listen to my intuition. And because of that, it turned out wrong. See? See? Did you see what God just did there? Huh? Did you see how he made? Yeah, do you ever notice that God makes an example out of me constantly? Oh, I'm glad to hear you got the last two tables up. That's awesome. I bet you're getting excited, even though it's like 200 days away. When we retire at night, we constructively review our day. Were we resentful, selfish, dishonest, or afraid? Do we owe an apology? I don't do this when I retire at night. I decompress every night, and this is what I'm doing. I'm letting my brain go through the day. Okay? I do not need to constructively review my day to know I owe an apology. I don't need to. I know my vital sixth sense will tell me, right? So I do this throughout the day, right? Do we owe an apology? Have we kept something to ourselves which should be discussed with another person at once? Were we kind and loving towards all? What could we have done better? That's usually the biggest question I am asking myself. What could I have done today to make it a little bit better? That doesn't mean I did something wrong. This is patient improvement. Yeah. And then you know what I do? I claim it. I claim it. It's mine. Do you claim your spiritual progress at the end of the day? We're supposed to. Yeah. Were we thinking of ourselves most of the time? Well, yes, I think of myself constantly. I don't know that I'm ever going to get out of that one. I get out of self a lot. Right. Usually, though, when I'm thinking about myself, I'm thinking about what Dion can do to make the world a better place. It's usually what I'm thinking about. And I think a lot, right? Or were we thinking of what we could do for others, of what we could pack into the stream of life? But we must be careful not to drift into worry, remorse, or morbid reflection, for that would diminish our usefulness to others. That's where I have to be careful. Morbid reflection is out of that. Worry, remorse. I don't really worry much. I don't have much remorse. But I do have, there are times I'll slip into that morbid reflection. Usually, excuse me, if I'm depressed. Depression will bring that on. Um, it has been a minute since I had an anxiety attack. So, after making our review, we ask God's forgiveness and inquire what corrective measures should be taken. Sorry, God. Okay. If I have to make an amends to another person, I probably need to ask for forgiveness from God. God, I hurt your child. Please help me be a better person. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Right. Don't just don't just assume that they know, that your higher power knows. Don't assume that. Even though, yeah, but don't assume it. Got to have that action. Okay? We're in the maintenance steps, and maintenance is all about action. It is about prevention, right? So I used to set myself up to fail. Now I set myself up to succeed. That's the difference. On awakening, let us think about the 24 hours ahead. We consider our plans for the day. Before we begin, we ask God to direct our thinking, especially that it be divorced from self-pity, dishonest, or self-seeking motives. Under these conditions, we can employ our mental faculties with assurance, for after all, God gave us brains to use. Our thought life will be placed on a much higher plane when our thinking is cleared of wrong motives. Now, we talked, and Roger and I talked about this earlier too, that we're supposed to practice these principles in all of our affairs, not just at the meeting, not when we're just around other alcoholics or when it makes us look good, but always. Okay. Are you going to fall short of that? Yes. And that's okay. That's why we have the 10th step. You're a human being. Being human, you're going to make mistakes. And thinking about our day, we may face indecision. We may not be able to determine which course to take. Here we ask God for an inspiration, an intuitive thought, or a decision. Intuition. Intuition. And where does intuition live? Well, it lives in your tummy. So ask your tummy questions. If your tummy gives you a bad response, then no. If it gives you a good response, okay, that doesn't mean it's an automatic yes. That means that now I'm going to have to, if I'm indecisive, then what I need to do is present this to another human being at this point. This is what I'm thinking about doing. What do you think? Right? I do it with Amber all the time. I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? Right? Because you can tell me the truth. You know, that's a good idea. Or, yeah, I'm not sure that's really for you. Or, so here we ask God for inspiration, intuitive thought, or decision. We relax and take it easy. We don't struggle. We are often surprised how the right answers will come after we have tried this for a while. So, like anything else, if you want to get good at it, you're going to need to practice it. What used to be the hunch or an occasional inspiration gradually becomes a working part of the mind. Still being inexperienced and having just made a conscious contact with God, it is not probable that we are going to be inspired at all times. We might pay for this presumption in all sorts of absurd actions and ideas. Nevertheless, we'll find that our thinking will be, as time passes, be more and more on the plane of inspiration. We come to rely upon it. I know I do. I rely upon my inspiration because it's coming directly from God. Okay? But if it hits my brain, it's probably going to be muddled by something. Hence why I need to speak with another person. All those people out there that you respect that have God in their lives, they refer to other people first. They do. Absolutely. No one is above that. Okay? Because Dion's decisions, even though I have my faculties back and I'm a lot, right? First wrong thought is wrong. We usually can conclude the period of meditation with a prayer that we be shown all through the day what our next step is to be, that we are given whatever we need to take care of such problems. We ask especially for freedom from self-will and careful to make no requests for ourselves. We may ask for ourselves, however, if others will be helped. We are careful never to pray for our own selfish ends. Many of us have wasted a lot of time doing that, and it doesn't work. You can easily see why. Right? Now, when I pray, I do ask for things for myself. I do. God, will you keep me sober today? God, help me. Can you please help me have a good day? Stay open-minded. God, I need a little direction in this. See, all of it is set up to where if that happens, because he knows, I know the deal. He's like, yeah, I'm going to give you a good day. You got to help my children, right? That's the deal. I know that, right? And it happens every single time that I make that decision. All right? Not always. Not everything's rainbows and butterflies and unicorn farts, right? If circumstances warrant, we ask our wives or friends to join us in morning meditation. If we belong to a religious denomination which requires a definite morning devotion, we attend to that also. If not members of religious bodies, we sometimes select and memorize a few set prayers which emphasize the principles we have been discussing. There are many helpful books also. Suggestions about these may be obtained from one's priest, minister, or rabbi. Be quick to see where religious people are right. Make use of what they have to offer. Okay? Don't close your mind. You can't go ask God for direction and then close your mind. Okay? Because I don't get to pick. Sometimes I don't get to pick where that direction is coming from. So I got to stay open minded. As we go through the day, we pause when agitated or doubtful and ask for the right thought or action. We constantly remind ourselves we are no longer running the show. Yay! I hated running the show, it sucked. Humbly saying to ourselves many times each day, Thy will be done. We are then in much less danger of excitement, fear, anger, worry, self pity, or foolish decisions. We become much more efficient. We do not tire so easily, for we are not burning up energy foolishly as we did when we were trying to arrange life to suit ourselves. Now, there's still times I burn up that energy foolishly. Okay. What I don't do is beat up on myself and continue doing it. No. I just make the decision to turn around. Yeah. And then I ask God for his guidance. Right? It works. It really does. We alcoholics are undisciplined, so we let God discipline us in the simple way we have just outlined. But that is not all. There's action. And guess what? More action. Faith without works is dead. The next chapter is entirely devoted to step 12. And we're actually just going to do that part. We're not going to do the reading out of the language of the heart because clearly that was what we needed to do. All right. It was. All right. Got a couple things coming up. God-centered recovery was today. Go check that out. Two sober dudes on Thursday, 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. We should be live tomorrow. Another episode of Raw Recovery. Hopefully, Benjamin Lerner is going to be on tomorrow. You might have seen his Instagram or his TikTok, some of his videos. He's out there, does a lot of good work. So we're going to have him on the show. And yeah, that's what we have going on this week. If you like what we do here, if we inspire you, we do need a little bit of help. I've decided that the Daily Trudge does need to start being self-sufficient along with what else I do. If you'd like to help out, $1 or $2, whatever you can do, it always helps. Venmo at Trudging Together, Cash App, Dion G. Miller. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.